Remember when Trackmaster was good? Yeah, me too. Better days, right? Well, that could be a video all in itself. You likely already know that fact. You also probably already know I really enjoy the IRONWORKS twins, given I made a whole video about them not too long ago. Yeah, but did you expect today we'd be combining both and talking about the hit era 2009 little friends Bert? Probably because it is in the title, but yeah, whatever. Okay, let's just unbox this thing. Now, the packaging is something we've talked about 100 times on this channel. Hopefully I won't linger too long on it for this one, but as you can see here, we have a classic HiT Toys Trackmaster look. We've got the Thomas & Friends Trackmaster logo there on the left. We've got a Bert nameplate there at the bottom in yellow. It says new there on the right, which, you know, I guess it is technically new in box, but it is from 2009, so, I wish this was new. That would be pretty great, you know what I'm saying? And that aside, we've also got some other smaller logos, like a little Thomas, some little flags, a little ticket with a number 1, and a little railroad crossing. And here we got another picture of Bert, which shows you the engine, the same nameplate, and again, logo. The back is pretty interesting because it shows all of the little engine releases, everything from Rosie to Stanley. And pretty weirdly, they never did Bert. They did Splatter, they did Dodge, they did Bill, they did Ben, but they didn't do Airy and Bert, at least in the Little Friends range, which I think is a little bit weird. But yeah, there is that, and again, here's a better look at that. Collect them all. If you can, I guess. Nowadays, that'd be a little hard or expensive. Now, the bottom is where you'll find the boring stuff, like the HiT Toys logo, copyright stuff. And here on the other side, you have a little window which shows you the engine. As you can see there, we can see Bert's face. The top is also arguably a window that shows you the top of the engine. It's pretty standard stuff. It's very classic to see and makes me pretty nostalgic, hopefully you guys too. But also, again, just kind of makes me sad because this is probably not something the younger generations will grow up with, and that's terribly fucked. All right, enough about the box, though. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time we finally take a look at Bert. So let's get this X-Acto ready and crack this dude open, shall we? I don't believe this one comes with track or anything. Let's see. Nope, looks like we just got the cardboard insert and a little instruction booklet, which we might get into. And again, there is Bert, and geez. All right. Oh, it's not actually secured there on the back. So, yeah, and nothing there in the bottom. That was a lot easier than I thought it'd be. All right, we've got Bert now free. The packaging was really not damaged at all. We just broke the tape, so that can be put right back in when we're done, or whenever I put him back on display. You know, before we jump into the engine, let's take a look at this. Is there anything special here? Let's see here. This should just be a normal instruction booklet. Yeah, let's see here. We've got Thomas there, James, Mighty Mac. Interestingly, we've got Madge, Hank. Nothing which shows you how to put a diesel together, which is kind of weird. I mean, the basic premise is there. I mean, you know how to put all of the types of things together. Oh, no, there's Toby. I guess Toby's the same. Yeah, there's that if you cared about it. I don't know, whatever. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we're here to talk about Bert, and here is the Trackmaster Bert model, and I can't lie. This is one of my favorites, and was also one of the harder ones for me to find as a kid. My grandparents and I want to say spent the better part of 3 or 4 months when I was 14 trying to get a Trackmaster Arian Bert, and kept finding fake ones, the ones that had, you know, step ladders. Or instead of getting Airy and Berts, we'd end up with 2 Berts and have to send one back. Or I think there was one time we got 2 Aries. Pretty interesting time, but as you can see here, I was lucky enough to finally, recently, or when I got that large Trackmaster collection from my sister, was able to get a brand new in-box Bert. And yeah, it's just kind of his time to open him. Why does he have a smudge on his face already? That was not me. I did not do that. I think that's chipped paint. That is a little bit annoying, but yeah, there's that. The hazard stripes here on the front are done pretty damn well, I can't lie. And follow, you know, arguably they could be better, especially if you look there at the front. It's not the best, and that could just be the molding, but again, that is something that's a little bit noticeable. Thankfully, on the rest of the body, it's nowhere near as bad, except for maybe the bottom area here on the cap. As you can see there, that is a little bit rough on the entire thing. There on the back as well. this side here, and maybe even here on the front a bit. But I mean, at least the Sodor Ironworks lettering there on both sides is not only straight, but very well done. Yeah, it's just this yellow that all together and all around, sadly, is a little bit messy on my model. But yeah, it could be worse. Now, something I really appreciate about these is the fact they have open windows. So say on the chance you want to give these things cab detail or little drivers, you can totally do that. There is no windows on the front, though. We did get some on the back, which are also open, though, so, you know, I'll take a win where we can get one. Now, I'm not sure if this is technically a molding thing or what, but on the Ari & Bert props or actual models, typically there was a hole on the back of their cabs where the lamps would go, or rear lamps would go. It kind of looks like Trackmaster did the same thing. There's a little hole there, dead center, where the rear lamp would go. I have to give them props. That's the first time I've ever seen that, and it is kind of neat. But maybe I'm wrong there. That's just something I happen to notice on this model. And not only do we have that in terms of accurate detail, here on the front we don't have step ladders. On, again, the fake Ari & Bert or some of their, I think, later variants, they were just repainted diesel models, so they had these step ladders on the front inaccurately. This one does not have that. It was probably a way more complicated way to explain that than it needed to be. But either way, you get what I'm saying. We've got some beautiful little lamp detailing there on the front, and save for the fact this one has a little bit of a bump there on the nose, the faces for these are pretty great. As you can see there, that's pretty unmistakably one of the Ironworks twins. Something I think that's a little bit weird is instead of just painting on the scruff or detail for his chin, you know, like any normal person would think to do, they kind of just molded it in a wrinkly way. So he kind of just, you know, has a weird wrinkly chin. Yeah, I don't know. That's always been something that's kind of bothered me. Like, you couldn't just airbrush it a little bit of a lighter gray or like black, you know? But again, whatever. There's that. Let's see. The bottom here, we got the HiT Toy Company's logo there. It says made in China and 2007 Ghislaine Thomas Limited. And there's the 107E9. Says Bert there at the front. And there we go. There's a look at that motor and chassis. Let's get a battery in this thing and see if he works. Now, funny enough, I do have another one of these that I've had for quite a while now. I'm pretty sure I got this in another lot from eBay. This is a, again, HiT Toys Bert. I'm probably just going to take the battery from this one. It's currently my stand-in for Aries since I don't have any Aries right now, even a fake one. But that's fine. You know, at least these are both licensed, even if they are the exact same thing. All right, pop this off. Oh, it's a double A. That's fine. Technically, these take C batteries, but as you can see here, or saw there, you can make this work with double A's pretty simply. Just, you know, that's not what I wanted to see. That does give me a bit of anxiety. Okay. Okay, yeah. With older Trackmaster models like that, sometimes you just need to flick the wheel like that a little bit and get, I mean, for lack of a better term, just get it going. These motors, again, have not moved at all. This was packaged in 2009 and has not been opened since then. It's 2023. It's working. It's just, you know, it needed a little bit of help. All right, so not only does this chassis work which of these body shells was the one it's this one. The nose told me. I guess that's a slight advantage of this. So not only do we know this guy works now, we've got him completely out of the box. We've done pretty much a 360 of the entire thing. If I have to rate this thing in terms of the paint, sadly, and, you know, little bits that aren't perfect, maybe a 7.5 out of 10. Altogether, though, I think it should be an 8. You know, if this paint was just a little bit more clean and some of these smaller things were addressed, this would be a perfect 8, maybe even 9 out of 10. They're pretty solid little models, and I think Ari and Bert are kind of underrated. They're the Death Merchant character. Let's be honest, that's pretty cool. They're the engines that take many other engines to their death and are kind of intimidating. They're spooky. It's cool to have little models of them, especially on your Trackmaster layouts, and it was a big deal to get Ari and Bert for me as a kid, as I was kind of saying earlier. It's a pretty big deal to have them now as well, and, you know, at least these are easier to find than the Bachmann ones, so at least there's that. And ladies and gentlemen, I guess with all of that being said, the only thing left to do is get another battery here in this Ari stand-in, and let's run this Bert model.
Either subscribe, donate, or get the fuck out.